we need to repeal the 17th.
I completely agree.
Actually, no. What you need to do, Tim, is you need to apologize to Jussie Smollett for the lies that you said about him.
So let's repeal the 17th Amendment, which states that the senators are chosen by popular vote and go back to your state legislatures deciding who's going to represent your state, which makes the most sense. And when we got off that system, it basically eliminated local politics and federalized everything. And now you get these commercials where a member of Congress goes, I'm going to clean up this district. Vote for me, and we're going to make these streets safer. And then they're like, I voted for you. And then they go to D.C. And you're like, oh, well, I thought you were going to have this district. You're like, yeah, from D.C. When I vote on federal spending for war budgets. And like, well, then who's going to clean up my town? Oh, that's your local rep, dude.
Well, or it's the opposite. And the local reps are now running on nationalized agendas where you have people being like, well, I'm running to stop Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. And it's like,
that's not your job.
Yeah, like you represent Maryland 6. Why are you running against Joe Biden?
I think that to repeal the 17th would not only would it do the stuff that Tim's talking about, which I think is all good, but it would also take the argument away from the left that they constantly are making that, oh, it's not fair that South Dakota has 2 senators and California only has 2 senators when California has so many more people. It's a misdirection to, it's a means to misdirect ignorant people, right? People that don't understand that senators are supposed to represent the interest of the whole state, and all of the states have the same rights about the way that the federal government operates. They have the same number of representatives because they have the same rights. It's not about the population. And so when people are like, well, it's not fair that South Dakota doesn't have more senators or it's not fair that South Dakota has the same amount of senators as California. It's a really, really dumb thing that they're saying. And it takes that all away, because then they would have to learn, oh, wait a minute. This isn't how it operates. You don't even vote for your senator. So it doesn't matter to you. And if you want to affect who your senator is, then you actually have to vote for your legislature in your state, which is actually would force people, if they want to be politically active, it forces them to pay more attention to what's going on in their local, in their state. And that's the way it's supposed to be. And that would be a good thing, because your state is far more likely to have an impact on your life, your state and locality, than the federal government.
Yeah, and one of the few places where that actually took place recently was obviously in Virginia, when people were really involved in local elections because of what was happening with school boards. And I think Republicans across the country are taking note of that and trying to run more on local issues. But that was sort of the roadmap, and why you got groups like Moms for Liberty coming out, 1776 Project PAC, trying to get people to run for school board and other local offices, because when they saw how it affected their kids, they realized just how important those local issues were.
Yeah, and with the pandemic, we learned that the local governments are incredibly important when it came to opening back up. So, yeah, we overlook how important it is, the local jurisdiction.
And everyone was blaming Trump for state-level restrictions and lockdowns. Right. The libertarians were just angry with Trump, and I'm like, to be fair, Trump did go out and give that announcement 2 weeks slow the spread, but at a certain point, when people are upset about the lockdowns, he said this is a state-level thing, and the federal government can't intervene in this stuff.
Yeah, to blame President Trump is ridiculous. It wasn't his call, and it would be good to have the American people less ignorant about the way that our government works.
They also then used it against him when they said that he's his fault for the COVID response and tied that back to the economy when he wanted to keep the economy open, and they did not.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.